What's the purpose behind the marketing plan? You excite, you educate, experience, and engage. Let's do this, right? Let's do this and let's have fun with it too. To my first time listeners, thank you for joining the show. I appreciate you being here. Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Marketing with In-Depth podcast, where I'm your host, Nathan Webster, and I'm excited to chop it up with you today. Today, for this episode, it's a part 2, and this is part 1 of quality leads. This is something that, as anyone that's dealing with marketing, leads are important. And it's all about establishing the right lead for your company. So today in this podcast, I'm going to talk about how we have gone from this old model of business cards to where the next podcast I'm going to talk about are digital cards and how we can convert that into leads. Now, I'm going to just start at a high level because in every industry, we're all different. But the focus that will hopefully you will walk away with is the result in you creating the best quality lead for your organization. So without getting too far ahead, to all my worldwide listeners out there, thank you for rocking with me and allowing me to be you and for you to authentically be yourself and rocking with me, sharing, liking, rating, and commenting on the podcast. For those who are first-time listeners, thank you for joining the show. I'm excited to, and hopefully you can walk away with the things that you need to help you in your marketing journey. So I wanted to talk to you all about something that I thought is pretty significant. I got to get a little sip of coffee first for that. All right, so let's talk about a quality lead. And this is something that when you start off as a business, or if you are already an established business, as a salesperson, or if your job is to do sales, a quality lead is a warm lead, which means it is ready to move forward on the customer journey of being a customer, a client, a student, a patient, whatever the case may be, where this individual was not a part of your entity and now they are. The question is, how do you do that? Right? And it's different for every organization. And I'm sorry, y'all. I got to make sure I put on Do Not Disturb so no one interrupts us. All right. So how do we do that? First and foremost, you need to know who is going to be your customer. Who are you really going to serve? I would tell my clients all the time, this is not about sales. This is about serving people. Because in the very beginning, you want to ensure that from the beginning of your interaction, that this is just the beginning of a hopeful, great relationship that both of you all can work together in a harmonious way to where you can have a great relationship to where the CLV, the customer lifetime value, is achieved and the person walks away or the business walks away knowing that they were helped by your value proposition. So how does that relate to a business card? Well, I don't have my business card handy. I don't usually carry business cards. Do I have business cards? Yes, I do. I do take business cards with me when I feel I need to use it. And I'll tell you what I use in the next episode. So wait for that. So when I'm dealing with someone that has a business card, and I understand the need for business cards, and I'm not against business cards, like the tangible business cards, okay? I know there's different business cards that you can scan QR codes and the e-cards, and that's great. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about when someone physically gives you a business card, or if you're physically handing out a business card, which was something more than likely you were told to do, or a tool that has been used for decades upon decades, right? Now, I'm going to tell you this is the old way of doing things. I don't carry business cards because my goal for my clientele are to not work with clientele that are not using digital channels. A digital channel is a website, a social media, or it could be video. Most younger folks or most folks that understand the need to monetize their brand, which is what I do, use a digital outreach system in some way, shape, or form. And mine is LinkedIn. And I'll tell you that in the next episode. But when I'm looking for a quality lead, I'm not going to give out a business card. More than likely, if they have to use my business card, oh, I'm sorry, let me tell you why. If I'm going to give out my business card, more than likely, they will not go to my website. They will not go to my social channels. They're not going to go to all my handles, right? And it's just because the old way of doing things was you go back and forth on this exchange to where you get to the place of where you can create a proposal. And from there, you build this relationship that is more, in some respects, organic in a traditional in-person handshake type of format. That can be really great for certain companies, especially if you're a bank. Because more than likely, as we come back to the 4Ps of marketing: product, price, place, and promotion, like a bank, they have always some type of promotion, or this could be a restaurant, and they always have a place for you to go to. In my world, I don't have a place for them to go to and shop, peruse, browse, try things out. That's not how my business works. But if you're in those industries that you do, having a business card is great because more than likely you also have your address on there. Again, in the next episode, I'll tell you more about the different types of digital business cards that will result in a quality lead. So the business cards for me do attract an older generation. And the older generation, which is nothing wrong that I like working with because my oldest client is 87 years old, they are about a in-person telephone relationship. Now, that's more than fine, right? But for the way I move, it's a lot harder. So the quality lead that you're looking for to pay X amount of bills, to where you can not only pay your company, you pay your workers, and you pay yourself, depends on what you, or not what, I'm thinking about what you plan to be doing with them, right? Obviously, that's a given. And in case that's not clear, what you give is your value proposition. And if you're a small company like me, I give so much that sometimes I don't always charge for it. So what I give them may not always work best for them because I can go above and beyond and it still might not be enough because they're not in the digital spaces yet. And sometimes with some of the clients that I've had that are in their 60s and 70s, they don't want to be in the digital spaces. They want that brick and mortar. They want that foot traffic. They want to shake hands and they want to see the person they're doing business with across the counter. So a quality lead when you're giving out business cards may result in not maybe possibly, we don't know, the right customers that you are seeking, and better yet, in another way of saying, attracting. So when we want the right lead for our company, it starts with the very beginning. This is where post-pandemic, people move differently. Companies move differently. Big organizations move differently. So if you want that quality lead, think about from the beginning of the concept of the relationship, the conception of the relationship, right? The concept, the conception, inception, right? The concept of you going to this networking event and the inception of you all talking to each other, will this result in a quality lead to where instead of maybe a business card, you put them in your phone? You connect with them on LinkedIn. You connect with them on a social platform, and you begin to do business that way. So, what do I want you to take away from this? In the quality lead that you need for your company, because we don't want the same type of clientele. We want to diversify our base, right? This is where you want to ensure that you are providing from the very beginning, from the concept of you serving all these people with the solution you provided in the marketplace that calls your value proposition, the product or the service. You have created the price point. I'm going over the 4 Ps now. The price point that under the cost, you can give a little bit more, and that's okay. It won't break you, because the places that you can work with them on is in a way that it serves them and you. And again, coming back to that customer lifetime value, the CLV, no matter what P, the last P, the promotion you're doing, if you do decide to promote anything, you're never going to lose, because the business gets paid, your people get paid, and then you get paid. And if you haven't built that in your costs and you're getting the wrong leads, then that's not the best way to go about it. So I want to talk about, what does that look like on the digital side of how I work and how I've seen a difference, especially after post-pandemic. So if this is something you all like, if this is something that you enjoy and you want to dig deeper, definitely come to the next podcast, because I want to talk to you about the quality lead of creating it from a digital side and what that looks like in the funnel and the touch points that you will create. Until next time, you heard it first. If you enjoy the show, please rate, review, comment, and share. And I wish you nothing but the best. So dream big and Godspeed. I'm out. What's the purpose behind the marketing plan? You excite, you educate, experience, and engage. Let's do this, right? Let's do this, and let's have fun with it too. To my first-time listeners, thank you for joining the show. I appreciate you being here.